Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to October 20th. It is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy Monday. Haven't been with you guys for 2 weeks. I was in Arizona last week speaking at a real estate convention, and the week before that I was at Montreal, Canada, at a business conference. And so been traveling a ton. Unfortunately, timing just hasn't worked out. I've literally been on flights, I think, when this has happened. But I hope you guys have had a great 2 weeks. We have now entered into busy season, I know, for so many Medicare agents. So hopefully you've started off strong already in the first 5 days, crushing open enrollment. Want to share with you guys two things that I'm taking action on to help my company and me show up within AI. Because obviously SEO is dying, search engine optimization, AEO is taking off, AI basically optimization. And I want to share with you two things that we're trying to take action on. Now, I give a big caveat. AI is moving so fast. I mean, like every 6 months, it is literally doubling, if not, more. And so I think these things will change. I'll give you an example. Like it used to be, 6 months ago, a year ago, people were saying you need to become a great prompt engineer, that you need to learn how to write incredible prompts. And I do believe there's value in learning how to write incredible prompts. I'm getting a phone call right now. But the reality of it is that AI has gotten so good already that you can just ask AI to write the prompt and talk to the AI to get it to help you refine and create the best prompt. So you don't really have to be a great prompt writer because AI is helping you even become a great prompt writer. So, keep in mind that the number one thing you can do with change is be on top of the change and always embrace change. People die because they rest on their laurels. They're not willing to embrace change. But you also need to be aware that you don't want to be on the bleeding edge of things. You want to be on the leading edge. And how do I make the differentiation between being on a bleeding edge of something or being on a leading edge? And it's not a perfect art or science, but one of the things I try to do when it comes to changes in technology or whatever's happening within the industry and the economic environment is I try to think practically about how I'm using the new tool or the new thing. Because I think what happens to a lot of people is they rush to get into AI, right? They rush to use all these softwares out there because they're sold on this dream, and they buy all these softwares, but they don't tie it to a practical use case for them and their business. And so what I've challenged my team to do is, yes, we're going to invest and we're going to go try a bunch of things, but the benchmark, the litmus test for us is the AI helping us achieve more of the results we want? And if so, then we know it's working. If not, we know we're just investing in things that in the end, it might be a nice thing, it might be cool, but it doesn't actually help grow the business. You got to be really practical about how you're implementing this stuff. And that's why I try to start with like small use cases. The most obvious for people is content generation, right? Having it create your content, having it help you write your emails, having it analyze for you things within your Excel docs and stuff like that. Those are like really obvious use cases that you can implement right away. The not so obvious ones are having it help coach you on your sales call. It takes a little bit more effort. Have it actually reach out and make calls for you. I'm testing Simple Talk AI right now. It hasn't been the greatest, just giving you feedback, but it hasn't been terrible, so we're still testing it. So once I get Simple Talk AI, it's actually making outbound calls for me. After I've gotten it to a certain place, I'll share with you kind of all my learnings and what I found there. But the two things I want to share with you about showing up in AI, because it's so critical. I want to give you the greatest hack you can do right now, is I want you to go to your AI of choice, Gemini, OpenAI. I want you to type in your industry. I want you to ask the AI, hey, give me the top 3 insurance agents, the top 3 Medicare agents, the top 3 health agents in your location. And I want you to see who it suggests. Hey, good morning, Flip. Good to see you. I want you to see, does it suggest you? When you go to the AI, I was talking to John Wetmore the other day. I was on his podcast and I was sharing this with him. I said, John, type in, who I'm looking for a great health agent. Who are the top 3 health agents that I should use in, boom, my location? And see who it suggests. And the beautiful thing about AI is that it's interactive, where search is not interactive. You've got to search it and then you've got to do the crawling on the Google searches that come back. But AI is interactive, so you can see who does it suggest, and then I want you to follow up that question with the next question, which is, why did you recommend these agents? What sources did you use to recommend these agents? Start interacting and asking the AI, why did it choose to recommend Luke Acree and not you? Ask it what sites did it source. what data did it use to recommend these people and not you? And what you'll find is it will give you the sites that you now need to focus your content strategy on. So Fast Expert is a site showing up all the time in AI right now. It's a review site. So I'm suggesting to people, do you have a profile on Fast Expert? Have you gotten reviews on your Fast Expert, right? This might not last forever, but it's definitely lasting right now. I can make the mental leap not very hard to go in. If it's looking at reviews on Fast Expert, it's not that hard to think it's going to be looking at Google reviews, and I'm sure Gemini favors Google more than it does Fast Expert. But you can ask it, what sites did it use to choose you? Why did it choose you? Why did it favor that content? Because again, what you're trying to do is twofold. One is, how do you get your name on those sites? How do you make sure you have those profiles up to snuff? Ask it, what recommendations would you give in order to be chosen as a profile on these sites? What metrics did you use? What keywords did you look for in choosing these? Because this is feeding what you need to do for your sites. You need to be up on Fast Expert. You need to be on your Google business profile, getting reviews, making sure the copy is where it needs to be. Then ask it the hard question, why did you not choose Luke Acree as the recommendation? And it will tell you why it did not choose you. Then ask it, what could I do in order to improve Luke Acree's Google business profile, Fast Expert content on the web, so you would have chosen me? And it's literally giving you a content plan here. So I did this with Reminder Media, right? So we showed up for magazines, we showed up for postcards, but we did not show up for Facebook ads. And I asked it these same questions. Why did you not choose us versus these other companies? And it gave me the list of things why it didn't choose us. And what was shocking to me is we offer all the things that it said we didn't offer. And I was like, oh, our web profile is not showcasing appropriately that we actually do these things that it was searching for when it was trying to choose whether or not it would recommend us as a Facebook ad platform for, small businesses. And so I sent that list to our content team. I said, get articles up, change our landing pages to make sure in text we have these features, list it right there so the web crawlers can grab that data. So when it's training the AI, we're in the mix there. So the same thing I'm telling you to do, I'm trying to do myself. So that was the first hack you can do to start showing up on AI. Is the first thing you need to do is get the raw truth of, are you showing up today? Who would you recommend as a health insurance agent in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania? I'm looking for a health insurance agent in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Can you give me the top 3 health agents? Do this for Medicare, whatever, right? And see who it comes up with and have an interactive dialogue of why it chose those people, what sites it sourced, what content it looked at, how it made the measurements, and then have it say, why did it not choose you? What can you do to improve your profile? So that's one. Number 2, this is straight from the HubSpot CEO and founder. This guy is like the godfather of SEO. He created inbound marketing in essence with HubSpot and everything that he did with content marketing, and they've kind of made it a massive thing. And he has been one that says SEO is going down, it's dying. And most people are predicting that all of web will change over the next 5 years to 10 years, where we will move to this AI-centric type interaction versus a search interaction. They're even thinking that the new web won't even be websites, that it will be websites built for AI agents, essentially. But, that's all theory. We'll see what happens. But the HubSpot founder said this, that AI favors Q&A style content. It is favoring Q&A style content, question answer content. It's favoring articles that are more like listicles. So top 10 things, top 3 things, because why? If you think about it, when you go to the AI, you're asking a question, and the AI is trying to deterministically, using math, try to determine what would be the most obvious and best answer to this question. So you can imagine that if you ask a specific question and there's a content out there that basically asks the same question and gives an answer to that question, there's a high likelihood that the AI is going to interpret that this is the answer for that. And so he was suggesting that you should start writing all of your blog content and start writing even your captions for social media and what you're doing for your YouTube videos to try to include a Q&A type style content. And think about this. Go to AI, ask AI, what are the most common questions that people ask around Medicare insurance? What are the most common questions people ask around health, right? And even you could even ask the AI, what are your answers to these questions? How did you source those? Same principle to my first hack that I gave you. And then go, and your role should be use AI to help you create that content and host it on your website. Make videos out of that content. Make social media posts out of that content. So it's a content strategy, essentially Q&A. So we're trying to do this at Reminder Media. We're trying to make sure that now our blogs moving forward will have more of a Q&A style in them. We're trying to even rework some of our old blogs that if people ask questions about print, they ask questions about marketing, how do we make sure we have blogs with a Q&A where we've asked that exact question and given an exact answer to that question being asked, so we have a greater chance to show up in the AI searches. So those are 2 hacks that are very practical. We can all take action on them. They're very interactive with the AI that you can go take action on in your business today to help you show up in AI. We all know what's coming. We all know what's happening right now. Honestly, it's going to switch to all AI. That's where it's headed. The question is, none of us just know when. And so now it's about trying to time it effectively and do the building blocks today. Not writing one Q&A article is not going to change your world. Posting better on Fast Experts not going to change your world, but the stacking of those bricks over and over again for the next 5 years as AI just becomes more and more prevalent will help you in succeeding in the long term of showing up in these searches and standing out and making sure that you're the one that shows up in AEO versus your competition. I'll close with this. One thing that I've learned over the last 2 weeks going to these conferences, right, because this is Monday Mindset, and I just want to challenge you guys to get your mind right. I really feel you win. All of business comes down to one thing, which is execution. Execution comes down to knowing and having clarity. Clarity comes down to knowing the details. You got to be in the details of your business. And I promise you, I guarantee you, if you're failing right now, if you're not hitting your goals, you're not hitting your targets, it's because you do not know the details of the business the way you should know them, which is killing your clarity, which is killing your execution, and everything lives and dies by execution. And execution really comes down to people. Where most of us are solopreneurs, so that's the man in the mirror, that's you, that's your discipline, that's your habits, that's your motivation, right? Some of you have teams, that's the people you've hired. So if you ever wonder why these big time entrepreneurs, when they get to where they've gotten to, they say it's all about the people, because people drive the execution. And for business to win, you can have the greatest idea in the world, but if you don't execute, it's just that, it's an idea, it's a dream, as they say. And I would just challenge you right now, the reason why you're not where you want to be is because you are not executing, because you do not understand the details of your business that you should know. You don't take sales, for instance. How many calls does it take to get an appointment? How many appointments do you have to run in order to get a closed deal? How many closed deals do you need in order to hit the target that you want? Take it even all the way back. How many leads do you need in order to make the phone calls you need, in order to set the appointments you need, in order to have the go-off rate you need, in order to make the closes that you need to ultimately generate the revenue that you want? Those are details of execution, and you can apply that to every bit of your business. Think of the buyer's journey, right? All the Medicare agents are going through open enrollment right now. What is the process, the details that all of your clients will go through? What will they experience from you that will either make or break you, that will create raving fans out of them, that will generate referral after referral for you, or create just average mediocre clients that have no loyalty to you? Those are all details. And I challenge you today, do you know the details of your business? Do you know the details? And every failure that I have in Reminder Media constantly comes back to, man, we just did not have clarity. We had vagueness. We had this gray vagueness where it's like, yeah, we all knew the North Star of where we're going, but in IT, there's this thing called islands, right? You might have this big product that you're trying to build, but you're not going to get there overnight. Everybody knows it. So what you do is you create islands, and you hop to the islands to try to get to the ultimate destination. And sometimes, the straight line is better, but you can't do it in a straight line. So you got to hop to an island a little off course, and then go back to this island. It's a little off course, and slowly over time, you're trying to get to that North Star. Most of us, we just know the North Star, but we don't know the islands that we're trying to hop to that will ultimately get us to that North Star. So that's my challenge for you today, is details matter. This AI thing is just a little detail in your business that you got to implement, and you got to be clear on and what you're trying to do. But it applies to everything in your business. So let's get out there and win for our families, for our clients, for ourselves. Let's make it happen this week. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's do it.